Good morning, everyone. I'm just going to take my background off, colleagues. I think my face is looking a little bit distorted here. But I just want to say thank you and welcome to Ding 5. Again, an opportunity for you to hear about some of the work at Digital Solutions. And also, I'm really grateful we've got some speakers coming from Chester Business School to talk about how we can use tools and digital tools to help you with your business forecasting. I'll introduce them a bit later on. Just before we do that, I thought recognize some of our guests may not have used the Ding platform before. So I'm just going to quickly show some basic rules of using the Ding platform. So if you excuse me while I share my screen. What you should be able to see is this is what the room when you logged in looked like. And as you'll notice, there are a series of tables that you can just move on by clicking on one of the empty seats in that place, and you'll see who our other guests are. This area here is for general networking. We also have a specific table for our colleagues from Chester Business School, if you want to have a further conversation after that spotlight talk about using the different tools to help your business progress. And we also will be having a series of pictures from individuals. If you notice here on the left and on the right, they've got some specific tables. So if you want to talk to one of the pictures, then you can actually go and join them on that table. Finally, you may also find that you want to have a more detailed conversation, and rather than being sat around a table with a group of people, you want to have a one-to-one conversation with one of the colleagues that you've connected with today. And if you notice here at the side, we've got these smaller tables, 2 people tables that you can use. Ding is the remote platform is fairly intuitive. On the bottom here, you will see that there is a chat function, which you can then actually identify to put a general chat. It will also allow you to send private messages to an individual if you want to go into one of these smaller tables, etc. So I'll stop sharing my screen now. And thank you for that, colleagues. Finally, what I'm going to just point out is on the right-hand side of your screen now in the main auditorium, you can see there is a general chat here, and there are also some questions and answer sessions. If you've got some specific questions for our keynote speakers, they are going to be monitored by Verity. Thank you very much. And then we'll raise those to try and inform some of the debate. After that, we will actually have the keynote speaker. So we will have some pictures. Again, colleagues, some of you will have been through these pictures before, others may not. You are getting a minute to do your pitch in a minute. You'll see a little timer going through just to give you plenty of warning about when your pitch is going to end. To join me on the stage, you just need to switch your camera on after the invite, and then I'll switch my camera off and I'll leave the stage and we'll leave you on, etc. Just before 10 seconds before the end of your pitch, I will come back onto the screen to give people plenty of notice. And apart from that, I just want to wish people a really productive morning and hope you get opportunity to have lots of connections. And I'll now introduce my colleagues, David, Anna, and Kelvin, if they could join me on the stage here from Chester Business School. Welcome, David. Welcome, Anna. Welcome, Kelvin. I'm going to let you introduce yourself. I want to say thank you very much for coming to do this chat about business forecasting, Google Trends from the Chester Business School, and how these businesses use those to help them take forward their business plans going forward. Thank you very much, colleagues. I'll let you introduce yourselves, and I'll leave the stage now.
So I start. Can you hear me? Am I loud and clear? My name is David Acquaye, and I'm the head of department for accounting and finance at Chester Business School. And my colleagues, Anna and Kelvin, are more specialized in the area of AI and all those stuff related to digital. So I will just hand over straight to Anna and Kelvin, maybe to do their slides, and later we'll pick up questions from there. Thank you.
Okay, so hello, I'm Kelvin. I'm Kelvin Leong. I'm professor of financial technology and data analytics. I'm also the program director for our PGR, the PhD, Depot, and DBA program. I'm from the accounting and finance. But today I am the technical support for Anna to present today's topic. So Anna, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, David, Kelvin, and also Joe. I'm Anna. Actually, I'm working at the university as a senior lecturer in accounting and finance under David's department. I'm actually a certified management accountant and also a certified technologist. So basically what we are going to do today is about the business forecasting with Google Trends. So this is prepared by our team. So hopefully you will be able to learn or to get some insights from the business, from some real world data. Shall we start the presentation now? Yes, welcome everybody. So let me do the screen share first. Okay. Yes. Can you see the screen clearly? Yes. I've seen there are some blinking. So just a minute, let me try to share the, is it better now? So what I'm seeing is I might not be able to see the chat by now because I'm on the full screen mode. So
yes, it's excellent. We can see. I can see from my end very clear, and I hope
yes.
others.
Good, thank you very much. So if you got any question, please maybe you can speak on the mic. So let me to hear it. And Kelvin is also helping me to check the messages. So let us start today's. So first of all, let me welcome everyone. This session is called the Business Forecasting with Google Trends. And I'm Anna, have introduced myself briefly. So let me first of all give you some background about today's topic. So we are now living in a big data world. We can obtain data much more easier than that in the past. So we've experienced that now. And then we can use all those free available data to do what? To help our business to generate useful insight so that we can make better informed business decisions. So today we will introduce a very useful tool called the Google Trend. So in this session, what we will cover is, just a minute, excuse me. So in this session, what we are going to do is we will introduce Google Trend, this tool, and then we will review how Google Trends can be used to support business forecasting. And then we shall also cover some selected real-world samples. So the first thing first, before we start, let us have some quick chat. I would like to know, is there anyone who have already heard Google Trend and used Google Trend before? And what is Google Trend? Have you ever heard about this or used this? Anyone? Anyone who has used it before? Not something I have used. Never mind, therefore, try to introduce this useful tool. Actually, what is Google Trends? So the most appropriate maybe answer is that Google Trend can show us how often specific keywords have been searched over a given period of time. So in our daily life nowadays, so we always use Google to search or to look for information that we need. Therefore, Google Trend actually shows us what people actually done the search on the Google search engine. So we could understand people's searching behavior all over the world, or target to a specific country, or even target to a specific area. within a given period of time. So now we know what is Google Trends. And actually, Google Trends has been very useful as a tool in the business world. And there are a lot of different applications that has been found. Following are just some example in particular that has been gone published. So the first example is from Nature. It can help to do what? To detect the influenza epidemics using this Google Trends data. And also, there are some scholars who use Google Trend data to forecast economic performance. And other than that, there are also some forecasts on the behavior of the private consumption. So we can look for some, maybe some products, maybe some sort of area that how people do the consumption of the different products. So that may be useful to understand the market as well. So last year, we have introduced, we published a paper to introduce an analysis about the financial technology education in the UK with the relevant industry leader. So Google Trend is very useful, but how does it work? Yes. How does it work? So Google Trend can actually provide a very useful information through charts. So more specifically, how does it look like? So first of all, we've got a chart with the search frequency of a keyword. So this is not an exact number of search, but it gives you a kind of indication about how popular a keyword has been searched through Google, this search engine. And then the other assets represent the time. So we can see over the timeline, so how a keyword has been searched in terms of their frequency and popularity. So now, what we are more interested is to know how to use Google Trend. Let's see how to use it. So I will close this slide, and then to use the this one. Okay, to use Chrome to show. So how do you get access to Google Trend? You just need to type Google Trends on Google, and then you can already find Google Trends too. So basically, we use Google as a search engine to look for whatever answer that we would like to look at. So you can see here is the platform of the Google Trend. So it said it explores what the world is searching. So what I'm going to do now is to look at how to use Google Trend to have a demo so you can try it on your own to look for the information you need to support your business. So from this this platform, so we could see there are some different charts and give you some other trending information. So very popular topics, latest story is about the UEFA Euro and also the economy and the COVID-19. So let us first do one thing. So we would like to explore. So we could click on the top left-hand side, there is a menu. So we could open the menu to do the explore. Okay. So you can type whatever kind of keywords to look for, to something that you're interested in, you can type it. Say, for example, for me, maybe I would like to search the toilet roll because it will retain some interesting kind of result. So toilet roll, so I just use the search term. So we can see how popular does toilet roll actually being searched on the Google search engine over time. So what I'm going to do is I would like to maybe customize the range to see the search pattern throughout some period. Okay, so maybe I search around 2 years time. So it will update the period immediately. So I'm going to search for 2019 in July from 2021 in July here. So it gives a return about the popularity of the toilet roll. This search term has been searched on the Google search engine. So what we can see is there is a very, very obvious peak here. So it is in March, last year's March, where the lockdown is about to start. So people may be afraid and they want to look for toilet roll. So that is a common kind of experience last year. But you can see that in the past, there are not much people search the toilet roll. So you can see the index is around 10. But on that, it hiked to 100, which is the highest, which gives us the indication about the highest frequency of the search during the period. And then it fall down. But after the lockdown is still a little bit higher than that before. Okay, so it's above 10 usually. Okay, so in fact, Google Trends has been considered as a very useful tool because it could associate to people's daily behavior. And this behavior cannot be easily measured from other platforms. So therefore, Google Trend actually can create a unique value to us to understand the world, to understand maybe the market, to understand the product, and to understand what people actually interested at this point or in the past. So for any questions? If not, then I'm going to move on to look at some other trends. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I would like to do another search. So let's try something like more recent. So the weather is getting hotter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to search fan. Okay, so I would like to know how popular is the fan being searched on Google. Are people looking for fan at this moment? Or how does the people search or looking for fan? Okay, so because there are different kind of fan, therefore the Google is quite smart because they use the AI technology, so it will return several kind of suggestion. So when you search fan, what are you actually search for? Are you searching for all the fan from people do this? People who look for fan, or because fan can means different things. Are you looking for a person or are you looking for fan, this machine? So at this point, I would like to select fan in the category of a machine instead of the full search term for everything. So I select fan machine. And then I could see how fan are being searched over the period. So previously, I have already searched something like I've done a customized time range, but now I would like to look for a kind of pattern. So what I'm going to do is I select a longer period. So now I select the past 5 years. So because I would like to look, is there any seasonal pattern or any kind of pattern? So I think fan might return me some sort of seasonal pattern. So I look for past 5 years time and to see. So now we can see a quite interesting pattern. So there are some peak on this graph. So it is in June 2017, late June. And in 2018, there are several peaks. The most peak is on, come on. It's in around July to August time. So it is a kind of, excuse me. It is a kind of summer in the Northern Hemisphere. And another thing is you can see June, July. So we could see the pattern are quite consistent. It is around June, July, and August time, there are some peak. So the next thing is it's return a worldwide search. So all the search in the world has been aggregated. So what I'm going to do, if is I would like to know about the local market, the United Kingdoms. How does the people search fan? So I choose United Kingdom. Okay, United Kingdom, and go for it. Okay, so it will return me the data from the UK. So for the UK, you can see the data is more clear. The peak is usually in around early July's time. July's time. Okay. So how about some other country? So we can see the search pattern worldwide and in the UK. How about somewhere different in Australia? How about people search for fan in Australia? Would that return something different? Yes, the answer is yes. So the peak is less obvious. It is usually in December and January. You know why? In December and January, because in Australia the summertime is opposite to us. It is in December and January. So you can see in the hottest time, more people would want to look for a fan. But the pattern is less obvious than that in the UK. I believe is that in Australia it's generally hotter than in the UK. So it gives us some insights about the how people look for something, maybe in different time, in different country as well. So this could help us to forecast and to help us to work out the demand in certain countries. So actually, doing comparison is a very useful function in Google Trends. So far, I've just looked for one search term only. So let us have a quick chat. Oh, maybe. So maybe what do you think? Which supermarket will be popular in the UK? There are different supermarket line in the UK. So if we want to know which supermarket was more popular, so what we can do is actually we could use Google Trend to help us to do this compares. So first of all, I'm going to maybe look for a very famous supermarket here, the Tesco. Okay. So other than Tesco's, I believe there are some other supermarket that is also very popular, maybe the Asda. So I look for the supermarket company. And other than Asda, I think there is also Morrison. Morrison's? Am I correct? Did I more? Yes, the both R and the S. So you can see the comparison about the search term. So maybe I try this. The retail company, if I use Asda supermarket, and then maybe Aldi. Oh, it's Australia, therefore the pattern is different. So let me complete the last search as well. So maybe Waitrose. So all of them are supermarket because I didn't adjust the place. Therefore, you can see the pattern is not really something that we expected. We can see that in Australia, Aldi is more popular than other supermarket because I think Aldi has presence in Australia. So we go back to the United Kingdom. Okay, so we could see a completely different kind of result. So we can see that for different search term or for different supermarket that I type in the search, it will give each search term a particular color. So the color is have a a good contrast. So we could see the blue, red. I think Morrison, there's some problem. Maybe I'm doing it. Okay, Morrison, yes, supermarket company. So this will give us a different result. So basically, I compare all these 5 supermarket brands under not using the full search term, because sometimes there are some maybe some other meaning about the term, so I couldn't retrieve the best result. So I put it into supermarket company or a retail company to make a more fair comparison across these different supermarket brand. So very interestingly, we could see that the pattern is quite similar. I mean, there is always a peak here, maybe around Christmas time. And then there are some supermarkets that they are quite popular. The most popular is the Tesco, the blue line. So it always have a higher kind of interest over time. And then followed by the Asda, the red line, just underneath it. And then we could see that Morrison's, Aldi, and Waitrose, each of them, they are quite, it is in another cluster. So they are all 3 is in another cluster. Morrison is less popular than the Tesco and Asda, but it's usually higher than Aldi and Waitrose. Because Waitrose may be targeting for a specific niche, therefore it might not be that popular. But still, you can see a very a similar pattern that when people look for the supermarket the most. So other than the past 5 years, we could also look at the past year if we want to see the trend about the season. So it's less obvious, but still we could see a peak here around the Christmas time. Maybe people do some Christmas shopping and to make sure they've got a good Christmas dinner and to store some food. Then the other peak is in March and April, maybe Easter time, and then May. So for other period of the year, it is quite consistent. So here is some pattern, so we could know that which supermarket is the most popular, and the second, the runner-up, yes. And also we could see 2 main clusters. So Tesco and Asda are the most popular group, and the other cluster is Morrison, Aldi, and Waitrose. So we could also see something different. Maybe when we scroll down, we could see the breakdown by the sub-region. So we can see that in England, the blue dominate, which is Tesco. And in Wales, similar. In Scotland, also, maybe in Northern Ireland also. But in Scotland, maybe it is a 50-50. Maybe, yes, Tesco and Asda, the search popularity is very similar. So, but for Waitrose, we could see that England have more search for Waitrose. So Waitrose may have a greater market size in England than in other kingdoms. Okay, so that is basically how we could understand a more useful pattern for us to support some business decision making. So you can also apply it to your own company's context. So let us think of a scenario. So if I want to open a kind of bakery in a foreign market to sell cake, okay, so we might want to know what is the best time to do the promotion, what type of cakes that we should sell in that foreign market. Because for a foreign market, we might have little knowledge about it. So using Google Trend will be able to help us to look for those information as a kind of initial understanding about the market and what does people look for and interested. So let us do another search. So I don't adjust it. I just click on it, click on the menu and do the explore. So it could help us to do a brand new search. So what I'm going to do, because I'm going to open a bakery in a foreign market, so that I type cake. So I don't know which one. Maybe I use the search term first to see what can get me. So let us assume I'm going to open a bakery, maybe in the US. So I can look for it, the United States, and there is different interests. So I would like to not just know about past year, but I want to know further in terms of the history. How does people look for cake? Okay, so I choose past 5 years to help me to understand the trend better, whether there is some obvious trend, seasonal pattern, or whatever kind of pattern that I could discover. So after I've done this setting, I type the terms that I would like to know and select the area and also the period. So what's next is I can see a kind of pattern in this way. So there is not an obvious pattern where the cake were most popular, but it looks like there are some this and the April's time. Here is December, so it looks like April's time to maybe by the end of the year there are two different kind of cake more recently. So in the past there are also something like that. So search interest by the subregion, Louisiana is the most popular thing. So we look at here, the related query. Okay, so let's see whether it gives us some sort of kind of more information about what type of cake people like. So there are fortnight cake, wedding cake string, ice cream cake string. So before I've done this, actually I've searched what is cake string, but it looks like I've got some additional interesting finding. So it is something like the cannabis, something like, which is actually not kind of illegal drugs, but they call it the cake string. So this is something I discovered because there are some other terms that I'm not familiar with, so that I do another Google search to look for what is that. But that is not something that we would like to search. So what I'm going to do is I can adjust the category, and also maybe when I search it, that is the term is the sweet, okay, the cake sweet. But to be honest, there might be some other cake that is not sweet. So I just assume they are the dessert, they are sweets, therefore I use this, the sweet cake, okay, cake in the sweet category. Okay, so it gives me another pattern. So again, there are some related query. So we could see, we ignore those kind of cake string that is not something we're looking for. We could see that keto cake, maybe the keto diet is very popular nowadays, so keto cake has been has upped. Other than that, it looks like unicorn cake. Oh, it looks like it doesn't give me much information about the flavor. So what I'm going to do, because they are rising, so what I'm going to do is I do some adjustment. So I click the arrow and look for the top. What does it mean for the top? That means on average, what kind of search term related to cake is more popular on average? So when they aggregate together, all the data aggregated together. So people search cake and cakes, and then cake recipe, birthday cake. Oh yes, that is a return, which is useful to us. It's a chocolate cake, so that we could say that chocolate cake may be the most favorite kind of cake. Other than that, there are the bundt cake, carrot cake, ice cream cake, even ice cream cake, lemon cake, butter cake, coffee cake, something like. So strawberry cake is not a kind of a very favorite for maybe for the country. So maybe we could use this to help us to understand what kind of cake flavor does people in the United States like. So we can rank it. Chocolate cake ran first, maybe after that carrot cake, maybe, and then the lemon, and then coffee, something like. So we could rank it, and then we could test it. So other than that, we would like to maybe to set up some promotion plans and marketing strategies, so that we might want to look for some more pattern. So here we couldn't see any pattern here, obvious pattern. So I just adjust the top here to see whether I could discover any interesting pattern. So okay, if I switch the period from 5 years time to 90 days, it looks like there is some pattern. Yes, it looks like there is some pattern, a more obvious kind of pattern that I can see. So we could look at the peak when we move the cursor there. It's May 29, May. So May may be a more kind of, May or June may be a more kind of popular period for cake in the United States. Other than that, I could maybe to look for it. Excuse me. Maybe the past months. So I look at the peaks, 3rd of July at 26th of June, 20th of June. So I look at the calendar. 3rd of July is a Saturday. 3rd of July is a Saturday. And then the 26th of June is a Saturday again. Okay, it's 26th of June, and another peak is at 20th of June. 20th of June is a Sunday. Another peak is also 19th of June. So it's a Saturday. So we can see that it looks like Saturday is a peak. Always there is a peak on Saturday. And we know the flavor and we know the pattern when people search for cake. They search it for yes, Saturday. So we can have a very brief conclusion that we could make more chocolate cake and then carrot cake to this market. Other than that, we might be able to sell more cakes during the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, or we can start do the promotion maybe weekly through Friday or Thursday to do this. So this gives us some kind of the behavior about the consumer and what they like or interested in. So this could help us to make the some appropriate business decision, or to make use of the data to inform us to make business decision, and then we could test it out in practice and see whether is this true or not. If this is true, then we could repeat doing it to help us to boost the sales. So actually, Google Trends can tell even more. Google Trend can tell all of this. So the search pattern and also some more additional information related to the search term. Yeah, here, the related query. We could put the top. And also, we could also understand how does the different region about the country, how do they search for it. So in order to look at the search for the cake, so we can see here has the most. There are some also you can choose the city, because if I want to open a new bakery, maybe I would like to focus on city which has more population, or it could help me to draw more footfall to buy my product. So there are some different search terms, so popular city, so that help us to also to see the picture, a better picture. So this is how we could use Google Trend. This is how we could use Google Trend. So I have done a demonstration. So for the next thing is maybe something that you want to try on this Google Trend. So before I think that's everything for today. I've introduced the Google Trend, the different functions, and how it could help us to generate useful insight to support business decision making. So, so now is the Q&A session, and it's also your time to try it. Any question about the Google Trend? Hopefully, this will be able to help you.
Thank you, Anna. And just to remind colleagues, Anna and Kelvin and David will be on their own little table at the back. So if you want to find some further details or some more precision about that presentation, you'll be able to join them on that table. So I really want to thank you for that
Thank you.
presentation, that demonstration. Kelvin's kindly put in the chat as well, colleagues, if you want to follow up later on. They've got their contact details as well as be able to speak to them in person at that table. So we're now going to move on, colleagues, into the shout-outs. Now, unfortunately, Ruth Westwood, who's going to originally pitch around the Building Skills and Growth Capacity Programme and the opportunities that how the university can help you with your future workforce and developing your workforce, has got some technical issues. So she will be on her table, she'll be circulating, but she won't be doing a pitch. So if I could invite Rena to come to and if you could switch your camera and your microphone off, you'll leave the stage. And Rena, if I could ask you to switch your camera and microphone on, you should be able to join me on the stage. That's brilliant. Rena, it'd be really helpful if you could just do us a pitch around what the role of the Westminster Academic Health Science Network is, and I'll leave it now. Thank you.
Okay, so I am part of the West Midlands AHSN. I'm one of the digital health innovation managers there, and we run a Serendip Incubator and Accelerator program, which is a physical space within Bruntwood Eye Centrum. And part of that is helping SMEs and startups to kind of navigate through the system, and we use the AHS network, which is with academy, healthcare, health and social, to kind of bring their innovation to light and kind of do collaborations, whether that's with real world validation, whether that is doing collaboration. So whatever it might be, that's what the AHSN kind of support. Our program is always open. We are about to do a relaunch, so I will share that information out. So if anybody's interested, they can come and join us. So yeah, that's it for me, and I'll hand you back to Joe.
Thank you very much, Rena. I really appreciate that. And with time to spare, that's brilliant. Thank you very much. So if I could invite Mandy Swain from the Business Advisor from Solve to come on, join me on stage, and she can tell you about some of the opportunities that the University of Wolverhampton are doing around Telford and Wrekin area. Thank you, Mandy. Welcome.
Hi, everyone. Hi. I'm from the Solve Digital Enterprise Programme. This helps SMEs, KICs, startups implement emerging technology for productivity and profit. Funded by the University of Wolverhampton in partnership with Telford and Wrekin Council, Solved offers 12 hours of free consultancy worth £800 with the opportunity to progress to further R&D. We offer a broad level of tech expertise that covers artificial reality, mixed augmented reality, bigger data analytics, cybersecurity, machine learning and artificial intelligence, 5G and wireless tech, robotics and automation, so a broad range of expertise. Support's bespoke, it's one-to-one, it's flexible. Companies we work with typically have a challenge, idea, issue, or a new product they want help with it around digital technology. Initial support can involve a feasibility study where we help identify and present options and solutions to help a business make a decision around the digital advancement. So we're on the table, we're in the chat, so come and see us.
Thank you very much, Mandy. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Again, you'll see Mandy in the networking session. So can I also invite Shane Stark, then, one of the business doctors for Shropshire, to come on stage and tell us about how he's supporting businesses to grow their business owners to grow their business. Shane, if you could switch your mic and your camera on. Apologies, colleagues. We seem to be having a technical issue there. So, can I invite Martin Muscat to join me on stage from Reclaim Tax? And he can really tell you about some of those important things around how you can use research and development tax credits and their support. Martin, welcome. I'll just switch my camera off. And you're on mute at the moment, Martin.
Oh, apologies. Hi, hopefully everyone can hear me. Yep, Martin Muscar. I work with a company, Reclaim Tax UK, based here in Shrewsbury. We're a business development division of CATAX. Now, CATAX is specialists in tax relief for research and development, capital allowances, remediation of contaminated land, and patent box. But not to bore you, we're also involved with a lot of grants. And basically what we do is we identify the hidden money that research and development can be hidden in your everyday work life. So we work with construction, we work with manufacturing. It's not limited to that, IT and obviously the sciences, they're the obvious one. But as I say, they only make up less than 50% of all research and development claims. In other words, don't take it that you're not doing it, because the chances are that you are, and you're welcome to come and speak to me out of here. So, okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Martin. I really appreciate that.
Okay.
I think we've just got some slight technical issues with Shane and others, which hopefully my team will be able to try and help Shane with. So Shane, I'm going to move on to Chloe, and I think hopefully people will help with Graham as well. So if I can help ask Chloe to join me on the stage from Glyndŵr.
There we go. Thanks, Joe. Morning, everyone. So yeah, I'm Chloe from the enterprise team. I'm the business development manager there at Wrexham Glyndŵr University. And here at Wrexham, we actively work with organisations of all sizes and sectors, from small startups to global corporations, and have a great track record of offering high quality business support. So we've got some amazing offerings at Glyndŵr that could really help support with personal and business growth, such as our short courses, which vary from graphic design through to future leaders, with many at a reduced rate or free at the moment. We also have our fully funded degree apprenticeships, which range from cybersecurity to low carbon energy efficiency and sustainability. We've got 6 of those apprenticeships. We also have our ladder of innovation, which has a variety of funded programs that can support business growth and innovation, like our knowledge transfer partnerships, mini knowledge transfer partnerships, and smart partnerships and knowledge transfer vouchers. But I'll put more information in the chat. Feel free to have a chat to me, and we can go from there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chloe. I really appreciate that. Oh, excuse our colleagues. I think Kat is also, we're having some slight technical issues this morning. I think Kat's here. So Kat, you have been able to join us there. So Kat's here going to talk to you around the Centre for Research and Environmental Science here at the UCS as well, and their programme. Thanks.
Thanks, Joe. Hi, everyone. I'm Kat. I'm the project manager for the Centre for Research into Environmental Science and Technology, which is an ERDF funded project based at University Centre Shrewsbury. And we offer free support to SMEs and startups in Shropshire and Telford and Wrekin who are looking to develop a new product or service with some sort of environmental focus. It doesn't have to be near completion. It can be something that is in the very early stages and you want support to see if it is a viable idea. We can work through the business model canvas and the value proposition with you to find out. Our support can also include research, laboratory testing, field trials, feasibility studies, or assistance with funding applications or low-cop grants. We are currently developing and offering into life cycle assessment, which is a service which may be of particular use to manufacturing companies. I'll be here for the networking, or I'll put my details into the chat if you would like more information.
Thank you, Kat. I really appreciate that. I believe there are some mic issues, Shane and Graham. So I'm not sure if you're able to join me on stage. If you're not, I'm just going to remind colleagues that both Graham from the Entrepreneurs Club will have a table, who will be around in the networking session. Oh, Graham's joining us now. Graham, great. I'm so sorry. I shall get off the stage and let you do your pitch. Thank you very much.
Thank you to Vicky for changing my settings remotely. Good morning, all. Thanks to Sarah for asking me to attend today and give you a very short presentation on the or information on the Entrepreneur Club. The Entrepreneur Club is provided by Throgmorton Associates. Latterly, you'll probably be aware of Nick Jones Wealth Planning in Shrewsbury. It's an online resource for every entrepreneur, whether you are startup, growth, expansion, maturity, or looking to exit your business. It is free to join. The information that's sent out on the first Thursday of every month is free. So please get in touch. I'll put my details in the chat. That's Graham Mills from Throgmorton Associates based in Shrewsbury. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Graham. I really appreciate it. Shane, I'm not sure if we've managed to resolve your challenges yet. Again, my sincere apologies then, Shane. Oh, Shane's joining us now as well.
Joe,
Shane, I shall step off the stage. Thank you, Shane.
No, cheers, Joe. And Vicky, same as Graham, thank you for sorting this out for me. So I'm Shane Stark. I'm a management consultant with Business Doctors. At its simplest, what we do is we help individuals, improve their business, whether it be people, finance, profits. The reason is I want to talk about some funding that's available through the Marches Growth Hub. You saw Mandy on earlier talking about Solved, but with the Marches Growth Hub in both Telford and Wrekin, as well as in Shropshire, there's 12 hours of fully funded support that is available for businesses, which would be great for a lot of the attendees on the platform here today. So if you're interested, drop by the table. It's a much smarter program than what some of the ERDF funding was. It's much more open and available to organizations in different capacities. So please stop by. Let's have a chat and let's see how we can help. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Shane. So, colleagues, that's the end of the pictures. You know where the individuals are on their tables. Before we move back into the main networking room, I just want to use this opportunity, both thanking Kelvin, Anna, and David, and the people who are putting their pitch out for their participation today. And just to remind people that although we've got summer coming up, we've still got an events program you can find on our website. We've got a webinar on building skills and growth. So although Ruth couldn't join us for a pitch, there is actually a webinar with more detail on the 15th of September. Our next Ding event is on the 6th of October. So please follow that to get details and those links. And again, as I said, on our website, we'll have a whole range of other events and links to other events taking part in the region. Thank you for your participation. I think Verity or Hannah are now going to transfer us through to the main networking area. Thank you very much, everyone.